Hello, it is I, Dr. Brian Lorgon 111, and welcome back to Side Scape. In the previous episode, I kind of glossed over a story beat that was happening. We were fighting some kind of ghost boss at the end, and we were in the Crypt of Fallen Kings, and the ghost said, "Akamon, have you come to finish me off?" or something like that. And Akamon, or whatever his name was, Akamar, Sir Knight had referred to him as a true hero, but Captain Grisham was suspicious of him. And so I have to wonder if Akamar is possibly the one who killed the king that we found in the stone castle killed at the end of episode 1, and if he's actually a bad guy and just had like good PR that had confused Sir Knight, or if possibly he's being controlled by some other evil. But I feel like there was some story going on there that I kind of missed last time. I also have taken the liberty of walking myself back out to the start of the dungeon, because between episodes I did take a look at the map, and it is definitely the case that there are some upgrades that I ought to be able to get to back out here in the overworld, as well as just a whole lot of the overworld that's unexplored. And so I think we ought to try to see if we can collect some upgrades to improve our maximum health situation before we go back and fight that boss, now that we have the ability to switch between characters. So let's do it. There's a save out here. Sure, I'll go ahead and take it again. So, to the north. Do I have this mapped correctly? I do. And so this is going to bring us back out into a portion of the world that we haven't been in before. So let's map something new. This is very suspicious. Is there a hole here? No, it's an obstacle. Can I stab it? Let us rest on this log. Okay, I tried to press my sword button, and instead that is also the interact button. Let's see what happens. Okay, but just for a minute. I wonder why we're here, and why we even have the ability to ask that question. Who knows, but we've got more important things to worry about. What if we're just here for someone's entertainment, and one day they'll just turn us off for good? Alright, breaking the fourth wall. That's enough rest. Let's get moving. Huzzah! Health restored. Okay. So it was a resting point that restored our health. Are we still in the same place in the map? It certainly appears so. Alright, that was odd. And this just does bring us back to the graveyard. I'm gonna save again, just in case somehow that was some type of important story event. But in any case, let's try exploring more of the world. I don't think Sir Knight has any way to try to get to that heart, and it doesn't seem like Sir Knight can interact with any of these gravestones or whatever they might be, but I have never gone to the south. So let's continue to fill out our map if we can. Slime, I have a crossbow that I can use to shoot you from afar, if I aim it better. That's a big if, though. That's a tall order. Brian and aiming, especially on this. I'm not used to using a stick for a controller, like I'm used to using a D-pad, and this thing only responds to a stick on an Xbox controller. I just managed to steer myself into the water because I'm not good at the stick. Okay, but in any case, now if I convert myself to Captain Grisham, and then jump up here, I think we will collect a heart, which I think will appear in the upper right as a permanent health upgrade for Sir Knight, so let's see what happens. You got a heart. That's all it says. And Sir Knight now has 5 hearts. Okay, neat. That is fantastic. So if we can collect a number of upgrades like that, I think it's going to really improve our chances of surviving these boss battles. And there are a number of them around, I believe. I'm also curious what Helper would say right now, so let's talk to him. I am Helper. Helper says, you can find the king's ghost in the Crypt of the Fallen Kings. Okay, yes, we've encountered him. We even fought him a few times, but he always managed to kill us, because I'm bad at video games. Alright, screenshot taken. Let's continue moving to the right. See what else we find. Looks like... Oh, is it locked with, like, Grisham coins or something? I will interact with it momentarily. First, Mr. Slime, how would you like to die? Actually, how would you like to die? To Grisham's laser beams. There we go. So if I interact with this, 1 of 3 tokens collected in the area. I did that in the previous episode. I did manage to collect 1 of 3 Grissom tokens. I've seen 3 Grissom tokens on the map, and I've also seen 2 Sir Knight tokens on the map when I was reviewing in the previous episode. So presumably I need all 3 of them in order to be able to unlock that door. So that's something that we'll be able to come back to in the future. I was trying to steer up, and I was like, why is my character not moving up? It's because he's not a character who can go north. There we go. Okay, health restore point here. Does Grissom have all of his health? He doesn't. So I will do that really quick. And get him his health back, and let's see, where do we want to go? There are many, many places that I have not explored thoroughly. One of them is over here in the Royal Village. So let's continue to the south and see what we see. Some of these blue thingies... So I have to imagine that these blocks are special somehow, but I don't know how. Can Grissom make this jump? No, Grissom can only jump like 3 blocks high, basically. Or maybe 3.5 blocks high. So he's not able to jump over that. So I will continue my exploration as Sir Knight. And possibly a well? Well. I cannot interact with it. I cannot interact with the front door of this house. And so, we're just exploring. Here's another helper who will probably say the same thing. Yes. So I think helper's job is basically to steer you into where the next bit of story exploration would be. Which is fine, I appreciate that. That looks like a heart that I ought to be able to get to, maybe with Captain Grissom. Actually, I'm second-guessing myself. I can come up here. I bet you these blocks are going to go away or turn off or something. I can't, like, hit them with missiles or destroy them with my laser beams? No. Alright. So, in that case, let's continue back on foot with Sir Knight and see what else we can see over here. It's another save point and perhaps another quote-unquote dungeon. It says museum here. Let's go inside. And, oh, this might be like a shop. Dude, are you like gonna buy something? Tell me about what could be purchased. Museum gift shop. Museum merchandise. Cobalt armor. Do not touch. I see. So there's armor, but it's just for sale. It's not for sale. It's just like on display because it's a museum. Museum merchandise. Yeah. How big is the museum? It might only be 4 screens. I think I won't bother to try to map it. A small plant. These weapons look interesting, don't you think? Weapons. What else we got? I discovered the Book of Records, and that bumbling curator lost it. The Book of Records. There is nothing sitting atop the stone dais or plinth or whatever that thing is. It seems to be a small yellow diamond. It seems to be a small red diamond. It seems to be a small white diamond. Oh no, I have lost the Book of Records. Perhaps we will be finding it. I do say, this art collection is rather lacking. This museum's kind of terrible. There's nothing here. Alright, nothing sitting up there. Lots of books. This section is about history. Lots of books. This section is about fiction. A fiction section in a museum. This painting makes you feel happy. A poorly painted flower. What is this doing in a museum? Portrait of a noble-looking man. Painting of a landscape. Were there any other paintings on the north wall? No. It is a pretty underwhelming museum. I agree with the folks in here. But it doesn't seem like anything is for sale, and I'm not sure... Like, presumably at some point we will get to that copper armor. I don't suppose I can, like, explode it open or something. Doesn't seem like it. So I imagine this is a place that we will be coming back to in the future And so I will eventually make a note of that in my notes, and we will just go back to exploration. So it did seem like there was an area in the south of the village, but we're kind of cut off from getting there due to those trees, with no obvious way to get around them, given those blue blocks that I'm imagining are going to disappear at some point. So in that case, if I go back through the castle now as Sir Knight, there is more of the castle that we could explore. First I will need to use a missile to blow this up, then I can get myself back. And let's see, yeah, there is definitely stuff north in the castle over here. And there is a save point again. And I never know when I'm going to stumble into a boss battle or something. Or just something that I'm going to misplay and it's going to kill me. So I choose to save frequently. Alright, there's a bedroom. Doesn't appear that there's anything I can really interact with over here, though. Over here, more slain knights or something. A castle soldier. So it seems like everyone who had been inhabiting the castle was killed. And I don't think I can interact with this little sword on the ground, so I think it's just there as environmental storytelling. And yeah, I don't know if there's any point in really killing all the bad guys in here. So this brings us around to the front of the castle. And it kind of felt like that was all that I could do in there, because I don't think there's any other way to go down here. Yeah, so I guess we'll exit out of the castle and try to go some other directions. For example, I've never been up here to the north. And there's an orb. Can I get to this orb? I think I can. No. Grisham cannot jump that high. I wonder if I'm going to get an improved jump, or if it will be some other ability that's going to enable me to go after things like that. For now, it shall remain a mystery. And let's continue as Sir Knight and do a little bit of backtracking, because there are definitely places we can go that we haven't been before. I imagine now on this screen that perhaps the glowing blue-gray blocks are toggle blocks that would appear here once I do something that like toggles all the blocks in the world. Maybe? I'm just kind of guessing. Over here, just some more basic bad guys. There was another upgrade, yeah, right here. This is a battery for... You got a shield upgrade. Oh, it's a shield upgrade. Nice. I was thinking that was improving Grisham's maximum health, which it looks like it did. So I guess Grissom has shields and the knight has hearts, and the battery powers Grissam's shields and the hearts are just like, you know, more Zelda-y. That's your maximum health. But in any case, we managed to pick that up, so that's great. That was one of the things I had on my to-do list, on the notes that I have over on my side of the screen that you're not witnessing right now. And then over here, there is a heart over on the screen, over here in the Mudstep Swamp. But I have not figured out how to get it. I wonder if it's possible to interact now somehow. Can I crossbow this thing? Could Captain Grisham's missiles somehow do anything with that weird arrow thing? Not apparently. So I'm still unclear as to how we're eventually going to get that heart. So that will just continue to remain a mystery for the moment. There's a battery down there that I would like to get, but it looks like it's going to be for the future. So let's continue our exploration this way. This heart also... I don't think it's possible to get to right now, unless possibly it's the case that Grisham or Knight can destroy this block, but the Knight's crossbow doesn't do it. Grisham's ranged attack doesn't do it. The Knight can't go in the water, and Grisham can't jump high enough in order to get to that heart. So that's another one that I think I can't get to just yet. So I think the correct thing to do is to continue exploring further to the south. Here is another door 0 of 2 tokens collected in the area. Interesting. Alright, so each area, I guess, has its own set of tokens. I had not appreciated that before. But I think that's what it's telling me. Let's be Grisham for a moment and hop across this. And then I will switch back to Sir Knight and forget to use my shield, despite the fact that the tutorial about using the shield is actually on screen right at this moment. But here's a portion of the Southern Woods we haven't explored. So let's see what we find over here. A bad guy that I'm going to kill just in case he gives me a health drop. He did not. How rude. That guy did, but it was a green health drop. So it appears that regardless of which character you're currently playing as, the health drops randomly appear as hearts or as little green dots that can restore some of the health of one or the other of your characters, but it doesn't always favor the current character who needs health. Alright. Noted it in my own brain. Alright, there's a battery that we should be able to get. I think. Surely this jump is makeable. I don't know if there's coyote time. Even without it, I feel like I ought to be able to make that jump. There we go. You got a shield upgrade. So now Grisham has 6 green bars in the upper left, which is great. Grisham, can you interact with this somehow? Doesn't seem like it. So still not sure what else to do there. But we got another upgrade. That's terrific. And it looks like if I walk around... Oops. I ought to be able to get to another screen that I have not yet visited. So let's do so. Ah! There's a battery that I can probably get at by becoming Grisham and firing and assuming my explosion. It doesn't explode at the side of the screen. Interesting. What if an enemy had been standing there? Does the enemy respawn immediately? No. Does the enemy respawn after I visit a few screens and come back? Probably. So here's the Northern Woods. Here's the Southern Woods. Presumably that enemy will have respawned now. Yes. And so if I am Grisham and get the enemy to wander over here and then hit him with my missile, I think that would enable me to get at the battery. And it does feel like that's probably like the quote-unquote correct solution to this puzzle. It's unfortunate that it involves so much waiting, so I will cut it out. Alright. I managed to shoot the guy right in my face, and as a result, I am rewarded with a shield upgrade. Hooray! Let's see. There is a save nearby that I can get to pretty easily as Grisham. So I will take it. Great. And then remind me what's down here. A dead end where we can witness a heart. I suppose if I had oriented my map better, I would have been able to see it already. So let's do some more exploring over in this direction as Sir Knight. Looks like this is going to be a dead end, though. Yeah. Can I interact with this, like, dent in the ground? Doesn't seem like I can. I don't think I had tried that previously. And then around here, it almost looks like this tree is going to be, like, breakable at some point. Yeah, maybe not. I'm unclear how we would end up to the, like, desert that's to our south. Oh, it looks like it's... I think I can kind of, like, see doorways. I'd have to go, like, right a mini-map and right a mini-map and then down and left to get to my south. So that's actually pretty far away. Okay, so is there anything else I could do in this portion of the world, then? If I were to go this way, as Captain Grisham, I can't manage to get to the screen to the right using any of my known tools, so I think I am dead-ended here as well. So it's time for me to look elsewhere. I have wandered back up to the original screen that we spawned in this world, And there's an orb that we can get. You got a Rift Spirit. And so now we're up to 2 of those, and so I guess that means we can switch characters a little bit more quickly. I don't know that it's particularly noticeable. There's an apple in that tree. Does that mean anything? I wonder. Can't shoot the tree. What if I missile? Oh, the missile actually destroys that thing that was shooting at me. That's interesting. But it doesn't seem like I can blow up the apple out of the tree. Is there any chance that a crossbow shot can hit an apple out of a tree? Doesn't seem like it. Can I pick it? Doesn't seem like it. Alright. There is one other power-up from exploring my own mini-map that I think I might be able to get to. It is not this one. So let's try to get there. It might actually be more of a walk than I was expecting. Alright, Captain Grissom, destroy this guy. That was not worth it because I ended up taking damage while doing so. Also, I think I'm going the wrong way. Yeah, let me meet you over in the other location. Okay, is it possible for Grissom to cross this barrier? No. That's kind of like the equivalent of Sir Knight falling into the water. So it appears that there's going to be a bridge that appears here. I'm trying to see if I can get to a location, but it seems like I probably can't get to. That is right there. So Grissom can't jump high enough to get there. But if Sir Knight could cross that water on a bridge, then Grissom, I think, could platform off the bridge and off the edge of the castle in order to be able to jump up and grab that heart. But doing that, I can't switch characters in midair. If I press the button, it just gives me little red marks and fails. So I don't think it's possible for me to get to that red heart. That was the other thing I was trying to get to. Also, what happens if I try to switch characters right here, where the knight would drown? Interesting. It does actually let the knight drown, and then switches you back to Grissom. Okay. I was curious what would happen, and I got my answer. So I've been wandering on my own for a bit, and most of the tombstones say that they are eroded and unreadable when I interact with them. Some of them are uninteractable. There was one over here. The tombstone has been eroded and is unreadable. However, I noticed that this one says, this tombstone is cracked. Can I use a crossbow on it? No. Can Captain Grissom use a missile on it? Also no. I really thought that one of those things was going to perhaps break open this tombstone, but perhaps not. But I've made my way back here because I think I've explored all that I could possibly explore on the overworld at this point in time. So, with some more health, perhaps we will be able to defeat this ghost. So let's see what happens. I think Captain Grissom can fire a lot faster, so it's probably good, and can also still use missiles. And Captain Grissom also has more health currently, but now would be a good time for me to be you again and try to avoid that one attack, perhaps. And shield button is this one. I remembered. Great. I'm gonna fire that. I'm gonna shield. I'm gonna go back to Grissom. And then I'm gonna switch to you and shield. Ah, I almost got it. Alright, Captain Grissom still has tons of health. So we're gonna let him possibly tank a little bit. You know what? Let's try to do this. Great. Okay. Feels like I'm doing things. Oh, I can even... Oh, okay. The little bad guys that he spawns, I can possibly take advantage of in order to get health drops. So that is not necessarily a strategy per se, but that is a thing that I did not appreciate previously. So that's going to be nice. Hey, I killed him. Okay. So some of it was probably just getting a little bit more accustomed to the controls of the game. And some of it... oops, I forgot to move my cursor to where we were. Some of it is probably having the extra health. But in any case, I managed to defeat that ghost, that first boss. And so now let's see what we find over here. It is a giant chest that presumably is going to have some type of upgrade that will enable Sir Knight to break the tombstone, is my expectation at this point. Let's see what we get. Hand hook. That's not what I expected. The hand hook can travel through walls and floors. Oh, wow. That sounds very useful. Suppose I were to go into hand hook. Okay, so I see it here. I could bind it to right trigger, I suppose. And then if I right trigger... okay. There it is. Okay, I'm unclear exactly what it is. Is this just targeting where it wants to go? And then it grabs something? I think so. So I move it, and then can I grab? And it moves me here. So these are hand hook targets. I can teleport to them through the wall. And then what is this? So I got a hand hook. It's a teleport to the start of the dungeon. Okay, neat. So the hand hook is going to enable us to get to a variety of places back on the overworld that I had not previously been able to get to. So before the next episode, I will go ahead and take a look at what are the new places that we can get to using the hand hook. But I feel like that's a nice, clean place to go ahead and call this one an episode. So I'm going to say, I hope as always that you all are having a great day, and I will see you again soon with more Side Scape. For now, bye-bye.